again, it's focusing on the other, is what you can get from the other, as opposed to um, there are people here that have always priced their work reasonable because they want it in the hands of us. Not that they couldn't charge more to get it, and have the other pay for it. It's what you focus on. And and to answer your original question, that's a tricky conversation. That is real tricky. The conversation of pricing. I speak about it anecdotally, in that what I have seen as I've traveled, not as extensive as you have, but traveled across the country, is that the pricing of art in the African American community in Chicago is lower than almost anywhere else. All right. Now, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I think it cuts both ways. This subject matter has to be addressed, because it's like we're trying to live in two worlds. Okay? And you get two different standards and two different criterias and so forth. And yet you're trying to have one conversation. It's not gonna work. Not gonna make sense. I try to stay out of the one of this larger world where money and price and economic value is the preeminent concept. Is that I recognize, okay, if that's what you're working off of, then what I'm talking about doesn't make sense to you. Because I'm thinking the greatest value is how it is affected, how it responds to our culture, and how we put it as part of our culture. Because culture is priceless. Is it? You look at the golden stool that was the whole symbol of the Ashanti people. And the British took it and had it in the British Museum, and that's like it was like they stole the soul of the country, of those people. What's the price of that? They had to give it back.
Yeah, but what's the psychological damage?
Yeah,
Somebody being able to take something from you of that significant value.
That's happening now. Is that these museums are now being under a lot of pressure to give these things back, because it would be like, could you take the Mona Lisa from France? Is it the monetary value is nothing compared to how they feel about it? And this is the part that I'm talking about, is that by developing an organization of art collectors, and we're collecting within an environment, we're collecting our culture, and we've got all these stories and connections and so forth that helps us and builds us as a people. What's the economic value of that? I don't know. To me, it's always priceless. So when you have these valuation conversations, I feel like you have to first identify what world we're talking in. Because this one that I tend to want to stay in is one that would tend to kind of value the fact that artists are making works available and they're being acquired in the culture that they're made. From and for. That would be the greatest value for me. To have something be made and it ends up in South Korea, or China, something like that. It's great for the headline and all that stuff, but it ain't saying nothing to me. I think it'll be just like stealing the golden stool, the Ashanti. We're all in it. We all trying to push this ball. That's the important thing, to see it as bigger than the individual, and we're part of a much larger concept of a people who've been displaced and now have to recreate a whole culture and push forward in the midst of all of this opposition. So we're in that.